What is going on, everyone? This is Nick from Comic Culture. It is Friday, so it is time for Nick at Night. I got my books. Some of the books I was able to pick up this past week. Was not able to get all of them. We had some diamond issues at my LCS, but I was able to pick up a bunch of books. So let me tell you what I thought about these. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we are back. Welcome to Nick at Night, the show where we turn on the lights, we talk real low, or as low as I can, and we enjoy our coffee. We talk about the books that we read this week. So, my LCS did not get their diamond shipment. I was able to go get some books somewhere else, got some DC books from them, but I'm missing a lot of stuff. So, this is going to be a partial review. I'm told they might be getting the books Monday or Tuesday, so I might get those books, add them on to this next coming week's books, and do all of it next Friday, next Nick at Night, because that's gonna be a lot of work, but it's all good. It happens, and we'll make the best of it. So as always, we start with the big two. We are going to go into DC first, because I don't think I have any Marvel books, because we didn't get the shipment. So we have Swamp Thing by Ram V. This is issue number 5. This is the first issue. I feel like I need to go back and read this. This is the first issue that I was pretty confused, and it was a little bit too weird for me. So we get a little bit of Dark Avenger action in here. I'm not going to go into spoilers. We get a certain well-known character that's introduced to the story, and he's kind of helping out. There's this kind of like this plague that's been like brewing underneath this city, and it's kind of like the Contagion in a way, and it's just really bringing all the worst out of these people that are living in the area. So they kind of figure out the heart of this contagion, and Swamp Thing's able to take care of that threat and kind of relieve that plague that's been just buried in the ground for so long, and he kind of gets rid of it. So interesting story, a lot different than the other 4 issues. Introducing a few more characters that we know, characters that I love personally. And so, art is still on point. This was the first issue that confused me a little bit. Didn't really see where it fit in. And then towards the end, we get our little Suicide Squad tie-in. So not a bad issue. It's just not really following the pattern of the first 4. And, maybe at least it introduced some interesting people into this storyline anyway. So yeah, not awful, but probably the weakest issue in my opinion. I might go back and read it since I have some extra time, just to make sure that I processed it and understood what was going on. But yeah, Swamp Thing number 5, Ram V. All right, we have Batman 110. James Tynion IV. I got that variant cover because it's absolutely gorgeous, right? And I like this issue. So I'm a fan of the Tynion run. And so I know it's under some criticism lately, but this is Batman versus the Peacekeeper. This is the Bat family trying to figure out what's going on. This is Ghostmaker coming in to try to help Bruce, trying to help Batman. I enjoy... So we're so used to Batman taking control of every situation, having a contingency plan for everything. And he always does. Like, no, even if his back's against the wall, he always has this like contingency plan, right? But in this story, you really kind of feel the desperation because he's completely taken off guard by Peacekeeper. And Peacekeeper's like learning how to fight Batman like in real time. A lot of like Taskmaster, or remember in Civil War when like Iron Man and Cap were fighting and he like studied his moves and he like deployed countermeasures in, like automatically, kind of that same vibe in a way. And so Batman has to do some pretty desperate stuff to get out of that situation. And it was just cool. I like when his back's against the wall. I like when he doesn't really have a lot of options, when he doesn't have the upper hand. And that's fun. So that was pretty cool. I like that a lot. And the Ghostmaker stuff in here was actually nice. I started not liking the character in the beginning, and I liked him more and more as he's introduced into this main run. I even enjoyed the backstory. The little back issue that it's in here goes over Ghostmaker's kind of, not an origin, but it kind of goes over like a previous battle that he had and how you shouldn't take him for granted, or you shouldn't, underestimate him, I should say. Batman 110, actually really, really enjoyed it. I've been enjoying all of these, but I really like this particular issue. So yeah, not too bad at all. We got DC still. We got Wonder Girl #2. So, and I got that variant cover as well. Love that variant cover. So this is really neat. This story has been fun so far with this character, with Yara. Last we saw her, she kind of fell into a river, was kind of pulled in there by some kind of magic. She meets somebody under there. It's kind of like a siren in a way. We do get an origin and a backstory from that siren, and we understand where Yara gets her, I don't know the proper term for it, but it's kind of like the lasso of truth, but it's like a ball on the end of this long string she can float around. And so we get a little bit of an origin about that. And then we get some more dialogue from some other people that are interested in trying to track her down. So like everybody from the first issue who's like, oh, we got to go there. We got to go to Brazil and we got to take care of her, or we got to find her, or we got to convince her not to screw anything up, or we have to kill her depending on what clan you're from. And so this is them all traveling there, trying to find her. And then Yara trying to escape that siren that we ran into in the first issue. So pretty cool issue. I liked it a lot. I like where this is going. Interesting battles in here, and we have a rookie mistake at the very, very end with one of our gods here that we get introduced to. Really interesting, and I honestly don't blame him at all, even if he didn't make this mistake. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't think this way? But I'll let you understand what that means after you read this book. Wonder Girl #2, loving the series, loving Yara, Team Yara all the way. All right, DC, we got Batman. We got that #6, that Fortnite crossover. I'm just picking these up. I'll probably just redeem the codes or sell them as a lot. I don't know. Try to flip them, buy some more comics. Who knows? But that's the last one. I think I have them all now. All right, big book, man. Pick of the week. We got The Nice House on the Lake, issue #2. I got the variant right here. And then I also got the A cover, my reader copy. I don't even know if that's true or not, because aren't these books still going for a little bit on eBay? So I need to be taking care of them, I guess. I always feel like that, like regardless if I try to flip them or not, I like it when things I own are worth more than what I paid for them. Is that bad? Is that wrong? And I want to keep them in a condition that justifies that worth, right? I struggle with that. Is that a bad thing or not? I don't think so. Let me know down below. I mean, do you buy $4, $5 comics and treat them like garbage and put them in bags and boards and shove them into your boxes, and then you don't care if they go to $20 if they were in better condition and now, you know, yours is still a $4 comic? I don't know. Let me know. This book is cool. So if you read the first one, I'm not going to spoil the first one if you haven't read it. This one picks right up after the first issue. So our characters are all brought together in this house. Everything's great. And then they understand that they're kind of in the middle of an apocalypse. That's all I'll say about that issue. So this issue right here picks up after that. They're all trying to kind of reconcile what that would mean, trying to contact their home, trying to figure out, you know, what's the deal with this house? How is it stocked the way it's stocked? How are things fresh? You know, if I'm a smoker, do I have unlimited cigarettes? If I like certain fruit, is fresh fruit going to be here every day? Like, how are they going to survive if everything else is on fire? So it's them all trying to talk, trying to figure it out. A lot of arguing going on. And there's some more mystical things that are found. And so people don't quite know who Walter is yet. Is he an alien? Is he a ghost? Is he some kind of a monster? Who knows? Is he working alone? We don't know. But these are our characters trying to ask all these questions, trying to work through all this, and they find more crazy stuff going on in the house. So I'm anxious to see where it goes from here. I'm more excited after reading the second issue for the rest of the series than I was reading the first issue, if that makes sense. So I think it's a worthy issue #2. So Nice House on the Lake #2, pick of the week. Loved it. All right, going on. We got more Marvel. We got the Immortal Hulk #48. 2 more issues. Haven't caught up yet. So I'm just going to throw it in the backlog for now. And then I'll just binge them through. And then we got a cool Black Widow ad on the back. Speaking of Black Widow, got that Prelude. Issue #1. Went and saw Black Widow last night. A lot of things I liked, a lot of things I didn't like. It was a good movie overall. There was more good than bad. It was great to be back in the movie theater. The audience was clapping and cheering and stuff when the Marvels came up and then when the credits happened and everything. So it was really kind of fun to be in that environment again. So I'm glad Black Widow is back. Go check it out. It's had a great opening night, and I'm hoping it hits that 100 million opening weekend, because that would be cool. All right, going into some independents, we have Firepower. What issue is this? Issue number 13. So in issue number 13, not a whole lot goes on. This is the family kind of getting back to the normal routine. Kids going back to school, mom going back to work. You know, dad just doing the dad stuff. We get a little bit of action here and there. We get some, you know, kids are training. The family's getting bored. They just came from an area where there's like an all-out war. People were dying. They were riding in like weaponized blimps, and they were across the world, and they were doing all this cool stuff. But now they're sitting at home eating tacos, and they're bored, right? So there is a threat kind of like moving its way in slowly into this story to kind of get the second arc going. But essentially, this is the family sitting around just wondering what's next, right? They think they kind of gotten it all taken care of, but there's another threat looming soon. So issue number 13, kind of getting things back in the normal, and then kind of wrapping up where it's going to go from there. So nothing too exciting, but it's just one of those character filler stories, right? So yeah, that it was pretty weak, but you need a filler story here and there, I guess. All right, a couple more books. So we got Skybound X number 1. This is that Image book. What I didn't realize was I didn't read the solicitation for this. What I didn't realize was this is a bunch of short stories. And some of these stories I never read, but the very first one was Rick Grimes 2000 by Robert Kirkman, Ryan Ottley, and then it goes down from there. There was an Ultra Mega story, a Manifest Destiny story, and then a Clementine story. I read all of them. I liked the Rick Grimes story, the Ultraman story, the Manifest Destiny story I thought was bad. I don't know anything about that run or those characters, but I thought it was just a bad story overall. It had like I think it tried to be like Kanto in a way, and it just failed. Maybe I missed something. Let me know if you've read Manifest Destiny and like I should have picked up more on that, or that would have given me more context in that story. But like I just thought it was stupid, so I didn't care. And the Clementine was like, meh, that's okay. I know the character, I understand it, but it didn't really do it for me. The Rick Grimes story, on the other hand, I mean, it was ridiculous, and I kind of embraced the ridiculousness. So I don't care if it was bad. I don't think it was even bad. It's like, what would happen if Rick Grimes woke up somewhere around like the prison era? Governor's, still around, I think, in that continuity, in that timeline. And he's like, he wakes up in a spaceship, and the world's taken over by zombies and aliens, and like he's like enhanced. He's got a robot arm. People around him are like alive that used to be dead, and they have like all these super robotic things, and there's lightsabers, and there's all sorts of crazy shit going on. It was ridiculous. It's kind of funny to see all these characters knowing what we know about them in this kind of situation, right? So I thought I loved it. I don't care how ridiculous it was. I thought it was pretty cool. And yeah, and it's kind of like high stake too. And the art is just really, really good. Was that Ryan Ottley, right? So I enjoyed the art too. So that was killer. So that's really the only one I'm going to talk about because that was the only one that I enjoyed. But if you like the other Image books, Ultra Mega and Clementine and Manifest Destiny, go ahead and pick it up. If you like Walking Dead, I don't know. It's a $5 book. It is cardstock. They're going to be weekly. And I think they're going to be fun. So I would pick them up. And I'm wondering, do you guys know if it's just going to be the same stories? Like, are we going to get a Rick Grimes 20,000 Chapter 2, and then an Ultra Mega Chapter 2, Manifest Chapter 2, and Clementine Chapter 2? Or is it going to be, 4 other Image titles, kind of like all warped and everything? What do you guys know? What do you guys know that I don't know? Not too bad. Another great book, man. So Cullen Bunn has been... I've been on the edge with him because I like some of his work and then I don't like some of it. So, I feel like he's doing a lot of things at the same time right now, and he's got things coming up still. And I feel like he takes more time I mean, what do I know? But it feels like he takes more time with certain projects. And I feel like Basilisk is one of the projects he takes a little bit more time with. And so Basilisk number 2, first off, that Martin Simmons cover. Holy Christ, right? That's amazing. I love that. So this is a great second issue, in my opinion. So what I want in the first issue is I want a little bit of mystery. I want a hint at what the big picture is. I don't want to know all the answers. I want to be left guessing. I want to be left wanting to know what happens and wanting to read issue number 2. And it did that for the first 3/4 of the book for issue number 1. The ending of issue number 1 kind of like, I think it was supposed to be like this big kind of like shock, like, oh my God, who are they? But I didn't really care because I was more interested in everything that happened up to that point. So in this book, they actually explain who those people are. They dive into the powers of the different people. So we all kind of learn, you know, how their different powers work. And we get a little bit of backstory. We get a little bit of commentary from the group that was introduced at the end of issue number 1. A little bit about their motivations, about their relationships. We get little hints about the backstory of our character who's kidnapped one of these people. And so we get a little bit of motivation, and we get a lot more of that cool, creepy art that we got in the beginning of issue number 1. This kind of art style right here. We got a few more pages of that kind of peppered into this issue, and I love that style. If we had a whole comic in that style, that would be crazy. But I do like the difference in the art styles when you kind of go from past events to current events. So that is pretty interesting. The end of this book is interesting, and it kind of brings on a lot of questions as well. And we're wondering, it's not too hard to understand why this one person from this group, the people that have powers, kind of went away from them and went off on her own. It's pretty easy to understand why she did that. And I think we're going to really understand it in issue number 3, because issue number 2, we get a tease of it, and then we get a little bit of a cliffhanger at the end that might be explained in issue number 3, which will then push us into a clear understanding of why this person left the group to begin with. So I like this issue a lot. I think it gave me a much more confidence in the issue, in the series in general, and with Colin Bunn in general. So I will be picking up Basilisk number 3, adding it to my poll, and probably removing some of his other books. And then I'll keep an eye out for his other number 1s that are coming out soon. All right, guys, so that's what I read. So to kind of recap, I mean, if you're looking for good books, pick up Basilisk number 1 and number 2. I thought Skybound was interesting. The Rick Grimes story especially. Fireball was kind of a filler issue for now. Got that awesome Black Widow. Immortal Hulk, I still have to catch up on. My pick of the week, Nice House in the Lake, issue number 2 with that B cover. Grabbing these Batmans for the codes for Fortnite. So we'll do that. Wonder Girl number 2, decent issue. Progresses the story. Not too bad. Makes you kind of fall in love with Yara again, which is good. Batman up against the ropes. Ghostmaker saves the day kind of a thing. Really interesting issue. And Swamp Thing, I'm going to have to read this one again because I didn't get it. But I'm not so smart sometimes. So maybe I just missed something. So yeah, that's what I got, guys. Down below in the description, you're going to see all kinds of links to the PCP Army Bad Batch, Whiplash Wednesday. We kind of own Wednesday from a content perspective on YouTube. We have all kinds of live shows and everything else going on. Check out the guys down below. All their information is in the description. While you're down there, let me know what books you picked up and what you thought about these books here in particular. Let me know if I missed something. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, and as Herm would say, ding, ding, ding that notification bell for future videos. I really appreciate you watching. Happy Friday. We'll see you next comic book day. See you in the comments.